I recently posted this little teaser about a potential Bloodsport-like game called Kumité. Another for fun project, another side project, another idea. So it's got good responses so far. A lot of people are hyped about the idea, and there's a few things I was want to try before committing to it in any sort of serious way. So I just need to pull CityCat stuff because I kind of threw it into CityCat stuff. And anyway, let me just find that. Okay, so this is the board before this is the platform, the fighting platform before the final battle. And what I'm going to do is switch backdrop designer into C64 mode, multicolor mode, and I just kind of plan out the sort of sprites, sort of size they would need to be, and stuff like that. Let's just do solid color. Maybe pink. Just trying to think of the right sort of size of people in this. Let's change it a bit more eggy. Yeah, so make it away with that sort of size for a head. That seems about right. So a couple of fighters here, and I'll just kind of make up my dudes. Very basic sort of way of doing it, using my little ellipses here. Kumité. Let's turn the grid down. You are next. I'm just thinking about the colours of the sprites and stuff, and someone did mention it would be better if they were high res. And I'm just trying to think about, okay, what colour would I make high res? I guess their body would be good high res, and I can hide some parts. But let me just play about a bit and see, I'll get a feel for things. Alright, let's change that to square, and let's say if we're going to white, go for a white karate suit on this guy. So, yeah, multicolor and high res makes sense. Right, this guy can have little black shorts. Maybe that's like Van Damme, right? Brown hair. Train me. I don't know, does that work? Does that kind of make sense? Yeah, go for that. Kind of shadow. So let's switch this to high res. Keep the palette. Yeah, I just need to fix a few bits. Yeah, probably. So do one. How many sprites would that be? Let's just go back to that. Show the grid. Let's go. How's it you redo in a layer? Oh, panel. Redo and select the layer. Control Alt Z. Control Alt Z. Let's bring all of them back in the layer above. Go. Right, so I can see just them. Right, and have a look at the kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's a sprite across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's a sprite across. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that's 2 sprites high by, you know, that's ideal because that's 1, 2, 4 sprites. But I might do like high res, multicolor. So be a bit tricky. The fact that also multiplexing will be harder because they are at the angle, so I'd need to consider that as a side-on thing. But yeah, that would be kind of that. Let me just crop him out. I'll call it Van Damme. I'll call it. In fact, I was going to rename him to Fred Docs. I need to change the names. Oh, it's grabbed. It's grabbed from. What does it do? How do you do a grab from that layer only? Scroll layer only. I guess I can just disable that and then do a grab. Ready, docs. There we go. And let's call that a basic fighter. Yeah, the little heads. I'll build that into bitmap. I think would be kind of cool. Right, show. Just turn that back on. Oh, the wee referee guy as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I might have to do them high res, low res like this. And the common color be pink and brown. Optional color here white. Optional color here black. The shadow. So 1, 2, 3, and maybe another one for like kicks and stuff. That's really it. I'm gonna go with that. Now, in terms of controls, how would this feel? A normal kick, a low kick, move the player around. You need to be quite, so hold down A and then down, right, back kick. That's really tricky. moving them around. Yeah, I don't really know how to automate that. Moving around is good, but then you have to like flip them all of that. I wonder if I do it a bit like bar MIGWIG and boxing, where it just automates the position and then you estimate what you want to do based on that. That was kind of cool. That way you free up the controls for other stuff, like without a button it's like a block. I quite like that bar MIGWIG and stuff because you get a lot more from it. Yeah. That way I can have the little referee guy. Let him just sort of be there. It's quite nice, that thing. Stop. Right. Break. Yeah. Man, there's two of me now. Pooh, pooh. Yeah. I'll try a couple of things. Well, I need to recreate these cool looking sprites, right, for one, and I'll do that in spread. So I guess I'll take a screenshot of this and just call it desktop, call it Kumité Ref. Right, let's come out of this. I'm not too fussed about it, and let's go to Spread 64. I'll just bring up my reference. Open with, I don't know, photo view or whatever, paint. Open it with paint. It's not found. Okay, committee rep. Right, there we go. Right, so let's try and make this little pixel character. It says I would love to do high res, but I'm kind of limited on the number of sprites. So my two globals, I'm going to go for brown. Right, brown and that, and then this would be my other color. In this case, it'll be black for dukes. For ducks. Again, I need to change the names. Shit, what was he? Okay, let's do this little nice boy here. You told me only to commit myself to one style, to keep an open mind, to honor Yoshidoshi. Means everything to me. Okay, and then we'll put that one there, turn off that. I guess having the upper body, lower body stuff makes sense. But that's not so easy when you've got long arms. I guess. Something like that. Yeah, you can use some tones here as well. Dum 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 dum. So difficult to represent stuff in a low pixel resolution. Yeah, go with that. Right, and the black shorts. It's actually quite good the way that I drew them there. really good. Ducks, ducks, ducks. Right, it's actually the right angle. Move that bit. Oh. So I'll get two for the body like that. That looks off. Let's do that. Where you realise your pixel art skills ain't that good when you start to try to do Commodore 64 art. I quite like them without the eyes and that. It just keeps it simpler. And the big arms. I might have to use the next sprite. Just because it's yeah, kind of needed. Dum, 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 dum. I'll just keep it simple. Right, and then he needs his shadow. My shadow follows me. Alright. Upper layer, I'll just plop that there. Wherever I go, my shadow follows me. That's kind of that. Of course I can use a bit of the grey here if I wanted. That's kind of cool. So that layers up that. I could even make that high res. I could make that high res, couldn't I? Do like a high res shadow. Don't know if I like mixing it up though, but yeah, let's go for that. Let's do use that to do a little bit of rounding. Yeah, that's kind of cool. These and that. So if I did 1, 2, 3, I want to keep a fourth one because he's going to need it for his kicks. So I'll probably go as much as 3. So let's just see like what a kick might look like. Let's go here and then do like a kick. So he's going to put his weight on that leg. Because of my ballet and my karate, I can do the splits very easily. bring his body down a bit like there. That will all go down like that, over. Will counterbalance. So move that. That's too much. Let's start to lay that down. Oops, wrong layer. Wrong sprite. And then we'll work at the shadow later. I like that fight it does with Paco. When they start just kicking each other like kickboxer style. That's so fun. Oops. Right. Might work on this one, so this is gonna be the one that needs another sprite, I believe. Maybe I just bring it all over like that and hope, like, if I did just that, would that be enough? Nah. He needs this one as well. Do an up kick or down? I need to then. It's kind of fiddly. No, I need to keep that there. Let's bring that. Oh, last thing I need to do is over here. Yeah, I can change this up a bit actually. Let's just move. I want it to be a higher kick as well, so that is really getting close to wanting to be more sprites. So what I do is I'll actually use that one there, that way I can fill in a bit here, get rid of that one, clear that one, rid of it there. Right. That makes it a bit nicer. If I move that up more. I want you and the other North American fighters to find your way around. Poor. Ducks, ducks, ducks. Right. Something like that. Of course I can. Oh yeah, that needs to be brown. Oh, that's a global color. Yep. Right. Use it for a wee bit of interlacing. That's pretty cool. That's pretty decent. Right, and then I can do my shadow work on that. So 0, overlay that there. 1, overlay that there, and fix it up. I'll just clear it. I'll just draw it in again. No, one. I'll copy and paste that again. Keep ground shadow. Get rid of this bit. Do a little in there. So it helps just to be able to round stuff off. Alright. Yeah, it looks weird, but what can I do with that few sprites? Come on, man, it's not easy. It's in an art form. Indeed, you need to be really patient with this stuff. Right, that can go over there. Of course, it needs to be adjusted. Right. Of course, there's not a lot of room to overlay up here. So that's essentially four sprites I'm using there. Four sprites, and it'd be 4 for the. Oh, how am I supposed to get the? That's why the shadow just needs to be built in, and therefore, what I'd probably do is make. Yeah. Make the, so I want to, yeah, I'll keep black as a global, and then I make this gray. And I get rid of the I'm just going to get rid of the shadow layers, even though they were nice. I don't really get the referee then. Right, so then I would paint these black for the upper part. That can be brown. Yeah, that. That would all be black. The thing is, I can use the grey as a anti-lacing as well. Which is kind of good. clear these ones. And that way I can get this kind of dark grey shadow. And I've used less sprites. So I would need like 2 for the referee, 3 for the player, and 2 for the enemy, 3 for the enemy. So that's them all used up. That's the way I would have to do it. I like it like this. I think it works. I think it looks alright. Let's just fill in that void there just to have something there. And let's copy that to there. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So I'm thinking it automatically moves the player in position, a bit like Barmaguggen's boxing, and then you do your move and blocks and stuff. And I guess you could change your fighting style like as you play. I was thinking maybe even like a double tap on its own could make you go from aggressive to defensive, or something like you are more likely to go away from them, like lure them back. That could kind of work. I don't know. It's just tricky. The moving around. Maybe a double tap switches it to moving. So, like on its own, double tap A or triple tap 1, 2, 3, and the fire button like that. Then it would come up like move mode and back to fighting. Because you're more likely to double tap, but if you button bash it, will go between moving and that. I'll figure it out. That could be a way for it to work. But anyway, that's really it. I suppose I would then export my sprites through the compositor here. So let me just fill up all this and put these guys in. Yeah. In fact, that was wrong. Let's just do it the way it was there. And then I need to make a kind of sprite sheet up, so I'll do it like that. Right, and then I can export that single image. Let's do desktop. Right, and then I'll open that up. Today's the 18th. Honestly, rename. Okay. Where's it gone? No. Right. I'll just magic wand away the background here. So, and then I've got my sprites. Yeah, I can export that. Or just save it over. Go back into backdrop designer just to check how it looks. Oh yeah, I do want to. Dojo. Bring in. Where are they? Where'd they go? Downloads. for the life of me can't see them. Sprite sheet 1A test. Sprite sheet 1A test. RST. Sake, this WC software's just got more and more annoying over time. So it save as, export as PNG. Right. Okay. Right, and I think it's, I need to increase it. Change that to that, override that way, to 6 whole times. Yeah, 4, no, 5, 6 time scale. That's pretty cool. That does look pretty cool. The only thing is I need to increase the size of this because it makes no sense for the dudes, and you can imagine everybody run about would be a weird size, but I'll just put them, you know, in the mind of they're in perspective or whatever, but it gives me an idea of how it could all look. So I'll just plop that down, and yeah, that's pretty cool. I like it. Let's get them fighting each other. Yeah. See if I can do a color difference. Oops, do auto update. Note others. Yeah, there we go. That's if it would let me change that pink color. Oh shit! If I want to change their skin tone in that, that's going to be tricky. Because that's not a changeable color. Although, you know, we can use brown. That's annoying. So these are the things you need to think about when you're doing Commodore art, is that this would change all the sprites. So I might want to swap these. Of course, in swapping these, it means that grey is now a global colour, and then this can be the interchangeable one. It's not a big deal. In fact, yeah. So let's do that. Let's change that to grey and change this to orange, like that, or pink even. Right, and then I'm basically looking to swap all these tones. So to do this kind of logistically. Bit by bit, so because there's no easy way to do this, at least not currently. So if that, if that was like that, then it means, oops, that's like that. It means then I can change the skin tone quite easily. I just don't see me using that yellow. It's only really going to be these three. Yeah. Okay, so that makes that one that's the global. How am I going to get brown here? I would need to have grey here. Oh man. I would have wanted the, I don't know, is it better that pink is a global? This makes more sense to be able to change the skin tone with the changeable colour, you know, because it's the most exposed part. But what if then I have a karate outfit? It would need to be black or grey so that I can have a skin tone, you know, like something like if that was my dude, he would have a kind of suit on, his gi. That's kind of weird. Not bad, but it's just such a shame that we're limited for colours. If I went high res, I could use background foreground, but then, you know, just the whole difference in tones I'd need for it to work. If it's just a high res blob and they're all in skin tone, I don't think that's very interesting. So the high res suggestion, although welcome, I don't think it will give enough variation for the characters. This is not bad. At least I can easily change them. If I really wanted a suit, a different colour suit, let's say I wanted a white suit, I would make this the hair black and go for grey skin. Or even like do a red suit, like try and theme the guys. It makes, you know, it makes more sense if I tried to make them a bit more themed. Red, yeah, red suit. When I say themed, like, you know, he's kind of like an old guy or something. At least with grey I can do a little belt like that, because I've still got the black as a global colour. If I change grey or brown, that's actually not bad either. That's pretty decent. The shadows then, why is that shadow grey? Oh, because I made the shadow that out. Oh, and then I can swap that for grey. Right, okay. It's not too, I think about this, I mean, it could then mean more sprites. Too many more sprites if I start going crazy with it. Lots of variations. In fact, I would make that like pink, right? Oh, no. How did I get pink there? Because it was a unique colour. Right. So I guess we treat the hands like they're in shadow or something. A bit more shaded. It's alright, it's not the end of the world. Allows for a little bit of shading in the face, like that. And the characters do look a bit more unique that way as well. I can get a little eye in there. That's not bad. I would say that's not bad. Like if I wanted to, yeah. Yeah. It's as good as it gets. I think that might be the way to do it. So let's export that and do enemies test. Bring that into here. Enemies test. Alright. Take away the background. Save. I'll just export as PNG because it's missing the extension. Right, let's import enemies test. Change that to 6. Right, okay. If I wanted the pink tone back for Dukes, then if I wanted him to look pink again, I would have to change this to pink, so then make his hair brown. It's not too bad. The only thing is, his legs will be pretty weird. I could change that back to pink, but then I would need to make the shadows orangey brown, so we're getting different shadow colours. That's risky. There's just so many things to consider. Oh, I can change this. No, I can't change it. So many things to consider when you're working in sprites for Commodore. You have to like think about so many things. So that would essentially be, I could make a shadow black actually. If I made all the shadows black, yeah, like you don't want a red shadow. Right, make all the shadows black. That gives me a bit more options. So yeah, I think that kind of does it then. Yeah, I think that's probably the best method for all this. I can do like, you know, some shading here as well, which is kind of nice. Right. So yeah, let's just export that real quick, and I'll overwrite that previous file. Downloads. But I have to finish soon because daddy duty calls. Right. Quick. Open. Downloads. Right. Take that away. Save it. Save changes. Back into backdrop designer. Let's undo those ones. Let's delete memory of that. Grab one. Yep. Scale it to 6. So there you go. Let's also undo that. So there's, technically that's Van Damme there, right? Then nice. That looks pretty good. I'd say that looks pretty decent. I like the shadows are black. It's a bit more intense. What did I just do? Oh, move to that. Right. Let's do that there. Up here like that. There. Oh yeah, it's behind. Yay. So 3 sprites. Technically 3 sprites for them, and then you know it could be a little referee guy there. So yeah, if you ignore all that other stuff. Yeah, that's it. I think that will be pretty cool like that. I do like the chunky pixels. I'm a huge fan. So yeah, that means the red also here is easy to change to like blue, whatever. And even that's quite nice, although it's on the arm there. We would deliberately repose that, so I could do like a pose like it's more like there, and then get rid of it there. You can even like carry the hand down a bit, so it just helps complete it. All these little things get considered as you're doing animations, and you know, it just all adds character to it. Like all the restrictions, I love it. I love the challenge. That's it for this video. So yeah, this could proceed into full development, all going well. Obviously I'll save this because it's a good starting point, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.